Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Andrew, your average jeweler, and today I want to talk about something jewelry related, but not necessarily jewelry itself, and that is gold, gold value, and investing in gold. I am not someone who is here to tell you what to do with your money. I'm not a tax advisor or a financial advisor, but I have been exposed to gold long enough to see how it reacts, and I also have an understanding of how most investments work. And so I just want to share with you some facts today, and then also my opinion on what I feel about gold and if it is the right investable asset for you. Now, gold has been used as a monetary resource for thousands of years, And for those thousands of years, it's always been one of the most valuable resources. And whether that's because of rarity or desire, again, most of this always goes back to supply and demand, regardless of the specific reason, gold has been valuable for a long time. But that means different things at different time periods. And I'm going to look more specifically at modern history and try and get an understanding of how gold reacts within our markets and how gold might grow as an investment if it's something you should hang on to. So a few reasons why you should buy gold. One might be that it's pretty liquid. It's easy to buy and sell gold. You can almost get anyone to buy gold at a close to market value. The market value obviously fluctuates, but it's something, given any situation, you go out in town, you should be able to find someone that's willing to buy your gold for what would be a reasonable and fair price. Another reason is it's something that you can verify what it is. You can test gold. Now, this is a process. I would say if you're someone looking to invest in gold, you should probably either be investing in gold coin as something physical and verifying those coins, which is easier to do than just a chunk of gold. And or you could also invest in some type of electronically traded type fund that deals specifically in gold. Now, there are a lot of types of those, and you probably want to look into them a little bit more and find something that actually is backed by physical gold, where when you put your money in, there's physical gold behind the scenes being stored for you, as opposed to just the theory of, well, we could buy gold with this and it's changing with the gold price. Those are some things I would talk about if you were investing in some type of fund or what we might think of as a stock of gold, but usually they're ETFs. They're just electronically traded funds that hold gold behind the scenes. Another reason people will often buy gold and invest in gold is that it can have significant upside, especially in comparison to our cash, which usually loses value. Gold typically does have more room to run, and there have been times where it runs significantly. If you look in the last 10 years or so, right now we're in 2021. If you look back 10 years ago, gold was much, much lower, and it's grown exponentially in that time period. I would say within the last 15 years, gold was down around $200 an ounce. It's been well over $2,000 an ounce at times in recent history. That's a pretty good rate on return, but it doesn't quite tell the whole story. There are some downsides to investing in gold. One of the biggest ones, and most people often underestimate this, is if you're dealing in physical gold, when you purchase the gold, you're probably purchasing it at a little bit of a premium because of the cost in holding something and trading something. Like most assets, when they're sold, usually the person that has it is looking to make a profit. So if you're going to someone that actually deals in gold, you're probably going to pay a bit of a premium. If you buy it from someone you know, maybe they're willing to actually sell it closer to what we call the spot price, which is the generally accepted going rate at any given time. And this is not as common, but you will find some people willing to pay you that price. When you go to sell that gold and you take it to someone that is purchasing gold, they're usually going to take a little bit of that profit because they have to, again, sell it. They're taking on some level of risk themselves that it could possibly go down. but also if they're sending it to someone, which is very common, they have to pay shipping costs. So there are a lot of different things that work into that. Again, you may have someone that's willing to buy and trade right at spot, but it's more common that you're going to lose a little bit in the process when you buy and sell. It's not uncommon, and you should be aware of it. If you're buying gold coins for collectability, that also can be very difficult, and you have even more of a spread when you buy and sell, as far as a premium buying and a little bit of a loss when you sell, and also verifying those coins can be difficult. So it's an added step, another thing to be aware of. On top of that, gold can be difficult to store if you're dealing with physical gold. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking maybe you're talking about a few coins here and there. Maybe you're talking about a pile of coins. Maybe you have a safe where you can keep that. But if you're invested in physical gold, you need somewhere to put it. And whether it's the actual space that you're worried about, or whether it's the security issue, it is definitely something that you need to think about when you're investing in physical gold. If you're investing in ETFs, if you're investing through the stock market or through a brokerage of some sort, that's not as big of a concern, but you also want to check and see what's going on behind the scenes and how they're storing that physical gold. While talking about coin gold, it's probably good to note that there are some coins that are always seemingly demanding a bit more of a premium, or they're always going to be in demand. You have your Krugerrands, which is the South African. You have your gold maple leafs from Canada. You'll want to keep an eye on the specific coin because you might notice that one costs more than another, and you might opt for the less expensive one. But it's probably worth noting that the one that's more expensive is usually going to continue being more expensive. Just another thing to consider. And lastly, there is some risk involved. Like many things that we invest in, you could buy at a peak and it may go down for a while. Historically, something like gold is going to continue going up over time. But as it goes through these peaks and then it drops down, you don't know where you're buying in that process. You may be buying at the peak and it's going to go down, and you won't be able to recoup your money very quickly. You may have to wait months or even years before it gets back to that same level. So there is some risk involved, and there's just that unexpected, unknown element to investing in gold. Now, something that I've heard before, maybe others of you have seen a relatively similar thing, but it has been told to me in the past that an ounce of gold over the last 100 years or so has usually been able to buy a custom suit, implying that there's a relation between the inflationary price and the gold price. Now, gold doesn't go up as smoothly as say the dollar inflationary scale does, but it does mean that over time it seems to track pretty closely. So my thoughts on gold personally are, I think it's a good way to diversify investment, and it certainly can work out really well if you're watching it and you're able to catch it at a lower buy price. But it's not necessarily something you can plan on growing exponentially faster than the rate of inflation. It's usually going to grow with inflation as opposed to the dollar, where it's going to lose money with inflation. So you definitely have some gains there. And there is something to be said about being diversified, having some kind of a physical asset, and something like gold that's always been respected and will likely continue to be respected as an asset. There's value in that. Now, if you're really serious about investing, there's probably other options with a better rate of return out there. But in that world, there's not really that many guarantees. So one way or another, you need to be careful. Working in a jewelry store, we get people asking us all the time, what is gold going to do? The reality is, we don't know. If we really knew the answer to that, I'd probably be doing something very different than making YouTube videos for you, but who knows? I like doing it, so maybe I'd be doing it anyways. With all that said, I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments down below how you view investing in gold, because there's a lot of different opinions. I'm curious to hear what your take is. If you're someone that's new to this channel, or maybe you just haven't subscribed yet and you're coming back, I encourage you, hit that subscribe button below, hit the little bell icon so you know when new videos come out, and we can keep growing this channel so that we can keep learning.